In delving into the forgotten tales of Butch Cassidy, secrets of his early days, the introduction serves as a crucial compass, setting the stage for understanding Butch Cassidy's formative years. These early days are not just a prelude, but the foundation that shaped the legendary outlaw he would become. Born Robert Leroy Parker in 18th in Beaver, Utah Territory, Butch Cassidy emerged from the often harsh and lawless climate of the American West. This backdrop is essential to comprehend his metamorphosis from a regular kid in a Mormon family to the infamous leader of the Wild Bunch Gang. Understanding Cassidy's early life offers significant insights into his future exploits and notoriety. These years were filled with experiences that exposed him to the realities and opportunities of Western frontier life. This period fostered his skills in ranching and horse handling, which later enabled his exploits in cattle rustling and bank and train robberies. For instance, Cassidy's time working on regional ranches honed his riding and shooting skills, essential tools for his life of crime. Additionally, his brush with the law at an early age, such as his arrest in Lander, Wyoming, for horse theft, marked his initial step onto the path of becoming a wanted outlaw. Cassidy's early days also illustrate the paradox of his character, a man who was as much a product of his environment as a rebel against it. Opinions about him vary. Some see him as a Robin Hood figure, while others view him as a mere criminal. This duality is significant because it challenges the monolithic portrayals of him as merely an outlaw, suggesting a more nuanced individual shaped by his circumstances. However, his romanticized image often clashes with historical records, leading to debates over his true identity and motivations. The challenges in studying this part of Cassidy's life include the scarcity of documented evidence and the mythologizing of his legend. Discrepancies in historical accounts and the allure of folklore often blur the lines between fact and fiction. Furthermore, alternative viewpoints consider the societal and economic forces that could have compelled young men like Cassidy into lawlessness, emphasizing the influence of the rugged and unforgiving Western frontier. Overall, setting the stage for Butch Cassidy's early life is a pivotal component of understanding his later notoriety. It connects to broader themes of survival, rebellion, and identity in the Wild West, influencing how we interpret his adventures and legacy. The heading, The Forgotten Tales of Butch Cassidy, Secrets of His Early Days, delves into lesser-known aspects of the infamous outlaw's life, offering insights into his formative years that shaped his future as a notorious figure in the Wild West. Understanding these early experiences is crucial for comprehending his development from a ranch hand to a legendary bandit. This topic is significant as it sheds light on the influences and circumstances that propelled Butch Cassidy toward a life of crime. Knowledge of his early environment provides context for his later actions, helping to paint a fuller picture of Cassidy beyond the mythologized figure, portrayed in history and popular culture. By exploring these roots, we gain a deeper understanding of the socio-economic factors and personal experiences that contributed to his infamous legacy. One example illustrating this point is Cassidy's early work on ranches in Utah and Wyoming. These experiences honed his skills in horse riding and understanding the rugged landscape, abilities that later proved invaluable in his criminal exploits, including evading capture. Another example is his time spent in the mining towns of Colorado, where exposure to the harsh realities of frontier life, including economic disparity and legal corruption, might have influenced his views on law and authority. Several historians opine that these early years were pivotal in shaping Cassidy's character, suggesting that his initial confrontations with the law and his interactions with the marginalized communities of the Old West contributed significantly to his rebellious nature. However, there are alternative viewpoints suggesting that Cassidy's later criminal activities were more a product of choice rather than fate, emphasizing the presence of free will rather than deterministic factors. Challenges arise in piecing together a definitive narrative of Cassidy's early life due to limited historical records and the mythologized nature of his story. Some accounts rely heavily on anecdotal evidence and romanticized retellings that blur the lines between fact and fiction. This ambiguity fuels debates among historians about the true motivations and circumstances that led Cassidy down his path. Understanding these early influences on Butch Cassidy connects to other aspects of his life by providing a foundational framework for studying his exploits with the Wild Bunch Gang. It underscores the importance of environment and experience in shaping historical figures. By unraveling these forgotten tales, we not only enrich the narrative surrounding Butch Cassidy, but also gain valuable insights into the broader historical and cultural dynamics of the American West. The formative years of Butch Cassidy, born Robert Leroy Parker, are pivotal in understanding the evolution of one of the most infamous outlaws in American history. This phase of Cassidy's life, his childhood and family background, laid the foundation for the man he became, influencing his values, choices, and ultimately his notoriety as a legendary figure in the Wild West. Growing up in a large Mormon family in Beaver, Utah, Cassidy was exposed to the struggles and resilience of homesteaders on the American frontier. This environment was characterized by hard work, religious commitment, and survival against harsh odds. Such a setting likely instilled in him a robust understanding of community and a defiance against authority, a trait that became evident throughout his later exploits. The significance of Cassidy's formative years cannot be overstated when exploring the main topic of his forgotten tales. Knowing where Cassidy came from helps us comprehend the motivations behind his actions and his eventual path into a life of crime. Two notable examples stand out in illustrating the impact of his upbringing. First, Cassidy's apprenticeship with a local rancher, Mike Cassidy, who was rumored to be involved in cattle rustling, introduced the young Robert to a life beyond his family's ranch, a life that combined work with rebellion against the law. Second, the economic pressures on his family might have driven Cassidy to seek alternative means of financial survival, culminating in his infamous outlaw career. These examples highlight the blend of environmental and personal factors that shaped Cassidy's early life. Opinions on Cassidy often depict him as a Robin Hood-like figure, a view that finds some grounding in his formative experiences, which likely instilled in him a sense of fairness and empathy for the underdog. However, there are challenges and controversies in this narrative. Critics argue that romanticizing Cassidy ignores the reality of his criminal activities that often resulted in violence and fear. Additionally, an alternative viewpoint suggests that the hardships of his childhood do not justify his later actions, pointing to a more complex interplay of circumstance and choice. Cassidy's early years intersect with the broader themes of the Wild West, reflecting the tension between frontier justice and lawlessness. Understanding this foundation allows for a deeper exploration of his legacy, providing context for his subsequent decisions and the mythology that surrounds him today. Thus, his formative years not only shaped his individual story, but also offer insights into the socio-economic conditions of the era, influencing the narrative of his forgotten tales. The heading, The Forgotten Tales of Butch Cassidy, Secrets of His Early Days, invites us into the lesser-known stories and experiences that shaped one of the Wild West's most infamous outlaws. Butch Cassidy, born Robert Leroy Parker, is predominantly known for his later exploits with the Wild Bunch Gang. However, his early years hold secrets that are pivotal in understanding his development into a legendary figure. These formative experiences are significant because they reveal the roots of his notorious career, detailing how social, economic, and personal influences molded his character and decisions. In his early days, Cassidy, the eldest of 13 children in a poor Mormon family, grew up in a time and place where economic hardship was pervasive. Living in the rugged terrain of Utah and Colorado, provided him a unique perspective on the challenges of frontier life, which often involved skirting the edges of the law. One specific example of how these early conditions influenced Cassidy is his initial foray into crime, stealing a pair of jeans and a pie, supposedly from a store owner who refused him credit. Such incidents highlight the blend of necessity and opportunity that spurred his criminal path. A second example is his relationship with mentor and cattle rustler Mike Cassidy. This connection not only provided young Parker with a role model, but also introduced him to a community that disregarded legal boundaries, further embedding the outlaw lifestyle into his psyche. Through these experiences, Cassidy's legend as a gentleman bandit began to take shape, underscored by a code that emphasized never hurting the victims of his robberies. Opinions on Cassidy's early days vary. Some view these tales as a romanticized narrative that glosses over the moral complexities of his actions. Yet, others argue that understanding these origins provides crucial context for his later life, depicting a man caught between survival and rebellion against a rigid social order. Challenges and controversies emerge in discerning the truth of these accounts, often clouded by myth and limited historical records. Some alternative viewpoints suggest that romanticizing Cassidy's youth blurs the lines between criminality and heroism, affecting how history perceives outlaws. These early stories connect deeply to the broader narrative of Cassidy's life, influencing his methods, ethics, and the eventual folklore surrounding him. They underscore a theme of transformation from a disadvantaged youth to an emblematic figure of the American frontier, illuminating how circumstances and choices interweave to craft larger-than-life legends. Understanding these early secrets enriches our comprehension of Butch Cassidy, illustrating the complexities of an outlaw shaped by his era. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this legendary Wild West story, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more epic tales from the frontier. Until next time, stay legendary.